Welcome back to another episode of Ad Spend. Today, we got Zack Miller, growth marketer, here to talk about a few things that are very, very important to your ad account. We're talking about reach, rolling new reach, how to get in front of new people with your ads, and what creative has been working for him, some of his top preferred tools. And Zack, let's just get into it.
Cool, man. Thanks for having me on the show. I like your setup. But yeah, so my name's Zack. I've been in the agency space since 2018, right before COVID. I don't know if you remember the stimulus checks.
Of course.
Every day was like Black Friday.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've just been really close to ad accounts for the last several years. Facebook, Google, YouTube, you name it. I mean, I've been in the weeds, managing budgets, and just trying to take money and turn it into more money.
What if I said you're wasting nearly 30% of your ad budget? If you're spending at least $5 million a year, odds are you're setting at least 7 figures on fire. Lifesight has run dozens of waste audits using incrementality tests. Across the board, 20 to 30% of media spend drives zero incremental revenue despite what your in-platform ROAS says. Lifesight is a measurement platform that finds the waste and then tells you exactly what to cut, what to scale, and what to reallocate. No more dashboards and vibes, no more stitched together spreadsheets and gut feelings. Just real measurement built for high growth brands growing to 9 figures and beyond. If you're tired of chasing fake ROAS numbers that collapse as you scale, check out lifesight.io/adspend.
Now, let's get back to the episode.
I actually found Zack on Twitter or X because he was the only one talking about one of the problems that we've been having, which is our net new reach on Meta is just on a sharp decline. And it's been on a decline since end of last year. We haven't been able to kind of crack it. We've had moments where I've seen an increase, but I wanna talk about this phenomenon because there's got to be a reason why you've created a tool. Which, if you haven't checked it out, we'll leave the link in the description and for the video. But Zack actually created a tool that most people could only get this information from their rep. Yep. Now, you've built this tool where you kind of integrate and kind of sync up your ad account, and it can tell you a bunch of different things about your reach, your rolling reach, net new reach, how much money you're spending on different audiences, frequency levels. Another thing that I just found out today, which is auction overlap, reach overlap on ad sets against each other. And so I want to kick off there and kind of ask you, one, what led you to building these tools? And I'm very curious because I do think a lot of people are having this issue right now, especially post Andromeda.
So where it started was I had a client who became like very obsessed with reach campaigns, like the reach objective, and putting a set amount of budget in impression bidding, reach bidding, something that's not purchased, right? And I would jump on these calls and they'd be like, "How's it doing?" And I was like, I don't know.
Is it even doing anything?
I don't know. I just have no idea. We never ran an incrementality test. It was just like the recommendation in the community. Somebody said put some money there, so we did. And so Meta has two reports that they'll give you. One's rolling reach and one is auction overlap. And they do different things. Rolling reach will tell you like if over a 2-year period you're reaching new people or not. And auction overlap says, are these ad sets hitting the same people? Mm-hmm. So if you want those reports, you gotta call your rep or email them, ask them to send it to you and they'll pull it. But like when you want a little bit of customization, you just can't get the reports, and they take forever. And I wanted to explore the data a little bit, so I started putting it together with one of my developers. And what we came up with was the rolling reach report that's on my site. So you can actually filter it on campaign objective and exclude campaign names. So like if you have multiple regions in the same account, you can now filter on them. But what I keep seeing now, and this is really interesting, I'll run a rolling reach report, and what I'll see is if I run it on purchase only, and then I run it with every objective, reach and everything, So like you run it with reach, it shows like your reach explodes, right? You're reaching all these new people. But then you limit it back down to purchase and it goes back to flat. So I was like, oh, like that's really interesting, right? Like it goes right back to flat. And with the overlap report, Meta has an auction overlap report that they define as an auction, right? It's like these ad sets were eligible for the same auction. But, we can't get that data in the ad account. So I used the reach metric and did a reach overlap, which still represents a unique person.
Right.
So what I kept seeing with that was reach would have overlap with the other reach ad sets and almost nothing with any of the purchase ad sets. So I was like, okay, this is really interesting. And then when you go back and run the incrementality test, like I keep seeing that they're just not nearly as efficient as purchase campaigns. So it's like, should you be optimizing for rolling reach? And that's the question that keeps coming up. And I think no, I don't think that's the right move.
Right.
Unless the best advice I've been giving people is if you're running a reach campaign to treat it like another channel, like TV, because then you can at least set expectations for what it will do, because it doesn't seem to have the same downstream impact on the rest of the ad account. So yeah, it's been really interesting. Like people have been hitting me up, sending me screenshots saying, what does this look like? I started doing more audits. I was looking at a guy's account today, and you just see like it's the same problem over and over again. People are having problems figuring out like what to do with the ad account right now, because the same old stuff that used to work doesn't anymore.
Right.
Audiences.
And what do you think has changed from last year to this year? Like why is declining reach such a bigger issue this year compared to like last year? And obviously, Meta's introduced all these AI features, Andromeda update, but what about it is causing this to happen?
I think it's not necessarily something that maybe started this year. I think it's just been getting worse every year since Advantage Shopping took the stage.
Yeah.
Because like you couldn't put exclusions on Advantage Shopping the same way, and it leaned real hot. Like it always had high frequency, high ROAS. So, what I kept seeing with that was I would pull frequency, CPM, and cost per 1,000 accounts year over year every time I looked at a new account. And they always looked like shit compared to the prior year. And it's the same story this year. And that's when I noticed it starting to get bad. I honestly think a lot of it had to do with the launch of TikTok, just taking so many people's attention away from Meta that like, look at what Facebook did. They had to make Reels to compete with it to keep people on the platform.
Yeah.
So, I think with Reach, there's just a reality that nobody's really talking as much about, is that people are doing other stuff online now. It's not like it was a couple of years ago where it was really just Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah. I think you're the only one, very few people talking about like net new reach, cost per 1,000 accounts reached. Yep. Even that metric looks inflated as hell for a lot of brands, right? I guess I want to get into kind of, obviously these things are happening and, there's different ways to maybe mitigate it and kind of like remedy it. But like, let's start with, if you're so focused on improving these metrics, right? Does your account structure look different from most? What are you typically running in accounts? Walk us through the entire setup.
Yeah. Well, I want to say the first thing, like I'm not prioritizing reach, I'm prioritizing money collected, right? Like just revenue with regard to bottom line. And then, so with that, like I'm trying to do whatever is going to make the most money. So I'll look at a couple things. Like I'll try to understand as best I can the account's consideration window. Like, is it mostly a one-day click brand? Is there a little more to it than that? Are people sitting there thinking about it a little bit? Funny story, I've noticed a lot of people think they have a brand people sit there and think about forever. And it's like one-day click or never again, But yeah, like I'll try to get as much context as I can and really try to think about how someone might purchase from this store. Or is it something they think about? Is it just one and done? And then after that, it comes down to like a principal understanding of how the platforms work now. Like years ago, Meta's algorithm, right, was in audience technology. They had all this behavior and would bucket people into groups. And every audience was a group of people with a different CPM and a different conversion rate. And, you could bid on groups of these people and you would actually reach them and you could deliver them different messages, but it just auto expands now, right? Like you can't just target people that are into collagen protein. It just doesn't work like that anymore. It'll always go beyond that. So it's kind of like the same thing that happened with Google a couple of years before when they started taking away keyword modifiers. Like you just lost control. So you could continue to fight it and try to play the same old game that is not even possible anymore, or you adapt.
Right.
So like the tools that I made help you figure out how to adapt because they give you the data that says, oh, all this extra stuff that I'm doing doesn't have the same impact that it used to because I'm not reaching new people with each ad set. It's hitting the same people over and over again. So yeah, when you look at that, the ad account structures just get real simple.
Right.
Like unless there's a business reason around certain SKUs or inventories, everything pretty much just goes in one spot now.
So walk us through that, right? So let's just say, for an account, a lot of people there's a lot of conversations around like, having a testing campaign versus a scaling campaign or just doing everything all in one. What does this look like for you? Where are you keeping your winners? How are you testing new ads?
Yeah, so it depends on a couple of things. I think the most important one is how much volume of content are you testing? Like if you're testing 100 ads a week, you realistically have to have a different approach than someone testing 5. Right. So there's that. And the second is like how sophisticated is the media mix? Because there are a lot of other stuff happening in a lot of different channels. That changes the structure a little bit. But I will say Meta seems to be getting really good at picking up on how external traffic has an influence. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the testing side of things, like I have some brands that I work with now where the creative volume is a little bit lower, spend is a little bit lower. Probably what represents most of the D2C community, right? Like that 7-figure e-commerce brand that's mostly Facebook, a little bit of Google. Like I just put everything in the same campaign now.
Yeah.
If it's one ad set, exclusions we can talk about, but it's pretty much one ad set, and as stuff doesn't win spend, we delete it to make room for something else.
So it sounds like you have a single campaign per offer with one ad set, and you're launching new ads directly into the ad set.
Yeah.
You're not even doing like different ad sets.
No. If it's a couple ads every week or two,
just go straight into the single ad set.
So simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it almost hurts to say that.
Yeah.
It's like there used to be so much higher impact work that would go into running the ad accounts for even a smaller store.
Yeah.
But like every time I look at this, like I'll even try to take something that didn't win spend and pull it off to the side and give it its own budget, and it just zeroes out.
Yeah.
Like every time, no matter how I measure it.
Yeah.
Third-party tools, Meta, one-day clicks, that whatever you want to use to measure it, it always just doesn't. Like if it doesn't win spend, it doesn't work.
Yeah, that makes sense. Marketing across multiple channels can be pure chaos. One platform says scale, the other says pause. The CFO says cut the budget. That's where Lifesight comes in. It combines geo experiments, MMM, and incrementality adjusted attribution in one unified platform. You get causality, not just correlation, and click paths. But the best part is it doesn't stop at measurement. Lifesight gives you accurate plan forecasts with actionable recommendations like cut this campaign or scale this channel. If you're spending real money and don't know what's actually moving the needle, you need to try Lifesight. Get started with a 30-day free audit and platform evaluation by going to lifesight.io/adspend. They'll show you exactly where your spend is being wasted, no strings attached.
Now, let's get back to the episode.
You mentioned exclusions. What does that look like?
So, like I was talking before, I try to get a sense of what's the consideration window for that particular store with the ads and product and offer that they're running at the time. And so the easiest way to do this is to compare 1-day click versus 7-day click for 7-day click, 1-day view in the ad account, just at the high level. So I made a tool for it. It's on my site, but it'll show like all the periods, right? Like last 1, 3, 7, 14, 30. And then those metrics, it'll show all the auction metrics. And so yeah, I just look at the difference. Like one store I looked at recently, it was their 1 day click ROAS was like a 0.97, right? And 7 day click 1 day view was like 0.99. You know, at that point, it's a 1 day click store. Like they had no exclusions other than I think purchase on some of the account, right. A couple ad sets, but you know, that's a 1 day click store. Like they're either going to buy it or they're not going to come back. So why not max out your exclusions then? You know, like why not try to get as many new eyes as possible?
That's interesting.
Right.
Okay. So essentially kind of taking a look at, okay, well, where does a majority of your conversions happen, right? If it is genuinely 1 day, then your take is, okay, exclude as much as you possibly can. Because once they come in, they click on the ad, at some point they're going to buy, right? Are you worried that you're not going to be serving enough ads to like more warmer people by doing that?
Well, I think one thing I've noticed is if your ads aren't good, they will ignore your exclusions, and you can see that in the audience segment breakdown too. So like I'm less worried about that, but in some cases I am worried about that. Like if I look at an account and I see 1 day click is a point up, like a 1.0, and 7 day click 1 day view is a 2.5, you know, for a 30 day window, that says that there's a lot happening beyond the first day. That's probably important. Yeah. So I'll be more cautious with how I approach that, and I'll try to look more outside the ad account. Like where else are they getting traffic from? I looked at an account this morning. Their mix was like 50-50 Facebook, Google. So they had a model comparison that looked more like that, where there was a big gap between 1 day click and 7 day click. So like I would be careful with how I approach that.
So how would your exclusions change if that was the case? Like, okay, they have way more conversions on a 7 day window than they do on a 1 day window.
Yeah. So I think when you look at exclusions, there's two ways to think about them. Like what happens after they get to the site and what happens before they get to the site. And those are like the major buckets, because, you know, think about like measurement and tracking and how that's changed over the years, right? Like it's kind of fuzzy when you're tracking when someone clicks and beyond. But Meta knows everything that happens on their platform. Right. So like you can exclude a lot more people if you exclude engagement on a Facebook ad versus website visitor related stuff. Yeah. Matching an email list related stuff, right? Like that's going to be a little fuzzier. Right. So I think those are really the two ways to look at exclusions. Now, internally, I call them min and max exclusions, right? Max exclusions, engagement, email list, website visitors, purchasers, everything. Min is basically everything but the engagement. And then if we're going to run something we'll call retargeting, it just only has purchase exclusions, and we just leave it open.
Got it. Understood. Right. So for like, I guess brands that do have that 7 day consideration window, are you maybe excluding less, or you're not excluding like engagers as much?
Yeah, it depends.
Or is there a way to like exclude, I think I brought this up earlier, but it's like letting people in within the first 7 days, but 7 days onwards exclude those people.
Right.
Have you done that?
No, I haven't really messed with that as much. It's an interesting idea, but the one thing I will say is like when you do test this stuff, it is kind of hard to know if there was even an impact, because there could be something outside the ad account that made an impact on the ad account. Sending an email will boost your ROAS sometimes, you know? Yeah. What I'll do is I'll make a change to an exclusion and pay close attention to breakdowns and auction metrics. Just see like, did the account even respond? Yeah. What happened, right? And then see how performance looks in those 1 day click, 7 day click, 7 day click, 1 day view windows, just to see how the account is responding. But I think a lot of it also comes down to like the spend level of the account. If it doesn't spend a lot, then like I'll make the changes directly on that campaign and see how the ad account reflects after a couple of days. But
makes sense.
If they're spending a lot, like 10, 15, 20 grand a day plus, you know, I'll run the same ads in the winners campaigns, but one with max exclusions and one with like more relaxed exclusions, min, right?
Yeah.
Like that way I can see, but usually what happens is when you have like a big external event, like you go viral or something like that, like you usually see both of them explode on performance in like all windows.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, I mean, this is definitely eye-opening in terms of like how we should be thinking about exclusions. Because I personally thought like even after this Andromeda update, like more signals is better, right? Like I've talked to people that are not excluding anything, right? And it's like kind of figuring itself out.
Yeah.
I mean, for us, like we're talking over 6 years, you have 1 million plus customers, you have 50 million in ad spend, and you have, a Facebook community of a couple 100,000 people. Like it's going to lean
right
towards the warmest people it possibly can. And it's like, this is where our problem is. And I think we're at the stage also where we need to probably diversify, or we are diversifying, but like Meta can't be like that main hub anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I also don't have any data, but I don't think like, I got to be real careful about how I say this. But with Meta, like they report on in their earnings reports and just online, their daily active users on the platform are growing.
Mm-hmm.
But like, show me daily active purchasers, right?
Yeah.
Like, show me the people using the platform that actually buy stuff.
Are buying, yeah.
Is that going up? Is that going down? How does that compare? Because it's an auction. How does that compare to people buying the inventory? So I think there's an imbalance that just wasn't there before TikTok. But I mean,
Shop is taking a ton of GMV away from.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's producing more. It's just taking it away, right? People are spending the same amount, but it's just being spent in other areas.
Yeah, and I mean, like we could never prove that it's impacting Meta, but like common sense says it's probably impacting.
Yeah, no, 100%. Awesome. Well, I want to get into some of the levers that can help fix some of these things, right? Like the creative side of stuff. Walk us through like what is creative strategy look for you? How are you thinking about, getting in front of obviously net new eyeballs, while also still, accounting for, top of funnel, mid funnel, bottom of the funnel type of stuff. So walk us through how you think about creative.
Yeah. So for the first 2 years of my small agency, I wasn't making any creative. Like my job was publish the ads, report on performance, figure out what to do next. So I always call it the data loop. Like the front half is putting stuff in, the back half is what happened, what do we do next? And you close the feedback loop. So I was all on the back half and putting more ideas into the system.
Right.
So that was pretty much all I did for like 2 years, was just launch ads that any agency made, put them in the ad account, see what happened. And like I did ABOs, testing, it's changed, I've learned.
Yeah.
So like as far as what do you do as far as content goes, it's just so interesting to see how it changed. Because 5 years ago, like anyone who's just putting random stuff in the ad account, like we always kind of yelled at them. We're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Put some thought into it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I'm going on Ad Library and Foreplay and Motion and looking for anything that's a little different from something I never tried. So I'm literally doing that now. Is what it feels like.
Yeah.
Just a shotgun approach. Whatever looks a little different gets in the ad account.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just crazy because, if you ever look at your breakdowns and you look at like share of budget by placement or by channel, like how much is on the feed, how much is on Facebook and Instagram, it'll change if you drop an ad in there that starts to take some spend because it might be catered more towards that placement.
Yep.
So the idea is you want to try to create a bunch of different stuff that works on a bunch of different placements to maximize your chance at taking some of that inventory profitably in those placements. So like what my team will do is we call them creative strategy proposals. We'll work with an account, and every week or two we'll go and make a brief, and the brief will say, find a direct competitor, find someone in the same category, find something in a completely different, unrelated category. Those are 3 buckets. And then with some guidance of product, or do we look for images or videos this time? and we'll just start. Like I've got a couple different ways that we'll pull ads. Like we'll go on Google and search brands like this.
Yeah.
And it'll give you a list of brands to go look at their ad libraries. A lot of people don't know this, but the ad library has a date filter on it. So something we'll do too is we'll go into ad library, search for brands, search for keywords. Like there'll be problem related keywords, or, you know, for Obvi, you might look for something like related to skincare. You just search whatever keyword in there and then put a date filter on it. And you'll see ads that launched a year ago that are still running. So like I like to look at that to see what's been running for a long time, because usually that's a sign if it hasn't been turned off yet, maybe it's working. You know, maybe it's a good ad. I don't know. You'll never know. But so yeah, I mean, we have a bunch of different ways we'll look for stuff. We'll save everything, download the assets, put them in a slide deck, put some instructions, and that covers like the visual side of it. And then there's the creative side, and then there's the copywriting, storytelling side. I can't say what's more important on this podcast because it depends on the product, what you're selling, what's worked in the past. You know, in the past, I've worked with stores that have sold the exact same products over the years, and there's been different approaches for all of them. So, you know, it really comes down to what have you tried? What do you want to try next? I mean, a lot of it's more about concepts. You can still iterate. There's still a lot of value in it, but like if you're smaller and trying to grow, a lot of it's focused on net new concepts. And then as you get to a certain point, iterations become more important. But even then, I still find most of my time going towards trying to find something new that hasn't been tried yet.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess on the new, right, like to your point, net new concepts is like extremely difficult, right? Obviously, if you're a new brand, like the world is your oyster, like there's so much you have to test. But for like more mature brands that are like, obviously like for us, or if you've been around for a couple of years, trying to reinvent the messaging for something that you've been doing for the last like 5-6 years is difficult. So I'm curious, like what goes into, obviously you can look at tools and stuff like that, but like is there any other research tips that you guys have to find some new stuff?
Yeah, don't be a hero. I mean, just really like don't try to do it yourself. You know, some of the larger brands I work with will cycle creative partners. And just come back to them as time changes, and because you got to get new ideas somewhere, and it's like I don't know how many, like I can't sit there all day and just try to come up with a new idea and ask ChatGPT and like I mean, you can get as creative as possible, but you really run out of just different ideas. So like that's where like I'm fortunate where I have a big enough team. There's 10 of us. So like when it comes to research, like I'll cycle the people that are looking for things for different accounts. Someone's a little bit better at researching one way or the other.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean the creative agencies we work with, I mean they've all been really great. Like they'll come up with, like they look at the account and try to make sure that
something different is
going in there.
Landing pages. What are your top favorites? What are you guys typically leaning towards? And obviously it depends by brand, but what's a go-to strategy there? Yeah,
so for years, like the playbook was always like 5 reasons why and bundle pages. But I think Meta's gotten so much hotter with understanding who's in market. Like give you an example. If you go to buy like a desk or something like that, as soon as you get back on Facebook and Instagram, you get hit with 15 ads for desks. Like it's just so hot now. So like a lot of stuff I'm seeing just even goes to the product page now. And that works. But I still like the listicles, the 5 reasons whys, the how-tos. Like we still test them. It's just the testing approach is different. Like everything used to be an A/B test now. Now I just duplicate the ad 5 times, change the landing page, see what takes the spend. And a lot of times it's like whatever has the price on it seems to take the spend now.
Really?
Which is just not how it used to work. But it depends. Like there's another brand I work with where it's all pre-sale pages. Advertorials.
Is it because that specific product needs like a little bit more education?
I really can't say for sure because it's like a 1-day click.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Purchase journey.
Yeah.
So Like you would think that it would need more education if it took more time, but
Yeah.
consideration window is so short that it's just so interesting. Because I mean, I've been on the agency side for like 7 years now. I've seen data in so many different stores and categories, and it's like the same stores, same products, same categories.
Yeah.
The story's different for all of them. So like I always tell my brands, like, don't worry about like what's his name's doing or they're doing. Like, read your data.
Yeah.
Like, try to figure out how your data works and what trends are happening in your store, and then respond to that. But it's hard, man. Like data, it's not fun. Like, I took a lot of time to learn coding and how to work with data. You know, it paid off. It was worth it. But like, if you're managing inventory and a staff and all this stuff, like, people got kids.
Yeah, that's fair. If you're scaling across Meta, Google, TikTok, and connected TV, but still don't have a clear answer to what's actually working, Lifesight can give you that clarity. It helps you move away from outdated touch-based attribution models. It's a measurement tool that shows what's truly driving growth and profits so you can make your best decisions. They'll audit your ad spend for free, show you where the waste is, and give you a clear plan to reallocate it. If you're ready to stop guessing and start scaling with confidence, get started with your first 30 days on the house. If you're ready to stop guessing and start scaling with confidence, get started with your first 30 days on the house. Check out lifesight.io/adspend or hit the link in the description.
Now, let's get back to the episode.
Last question for you. What are some of your favorite tools that you can't live without using day to day? Obviously, your website is definitely one of them, but anything else that you're relying on?
Yeah, so I really like Doorthbeam. I found like how they basically make data accessible for cross-platform is really, really good. Like, I have model comparison reports for it, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, that's been helpful. Like, to give you an example, one client I work with is in a couple of countries. One of them's working really well, one of them's not. So like, I was able to pull a 1-day click versus LTV consideration window report and see like the consideration window was like way shorter in market A versus B. So that meant like direct response strategy all the way for that other market, right? Like, 1-day click, they're coming and buying or they're not. Countdown timers, discounts, BOGOs, like testing all of that, you know? But the other market, we don't have to. People think about it a little bit longer. So, you know, that tool has been great. I like Triple Whale too. Like, some of their dashboards are really, like, just being able to get data in one spot and see the blended high level picture of all the spend, all the revenue by market, contribution dollars. Like, so
I'm on there like every hour.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, those two tools have done a lot for the industry, and like, people always compare them, but they're just so different. I agree. And then like on the creative side, I like Foreplay. I've been using that for years now. I couldn't even tell you what I pay. I think I have like rates that nobody's seen.
Grandfathered in. I think we're also grandfathered in. It's been a long time.
I'm stealing it at this point.
Right. Thanks, Zach.
But you know, that's helpful too, because we're able to just save stuff forever and slap it in the slide deck, and it's easy. And then, good Lord, the list of tools. I feel like I have to log into 50 dashboards every day just to do my job now. But you know, those are probably where I spend most of the time.
Awesome. Love that. Well, Zach, this has been awesome. It's actually just like breath of fresh air, just talking about some of the other stats and metrics that not a lot of other people are thinking about, but you should be. If you actually go and check out Zach's tool, we'll link it in the description. But just plug in your ad account, see what your reach is looking like. For us, it literally looks like this, and it just plateaus. And so what we're trying to do now is, you know, more partnership ads, more, you know, net new video creatives to try and get into different audiences. But I think exclusions is also something that we need to revisit testing. So Zach, appreciate you hopping on, and until then, happy scaling.